What is happening, y'all? Welcome, I'm back. Is this the final part? I don't know. Let's find out. Does seem like they've changed up quite a bit, though. Because none of this happened before. He was talking about Cloud.
Here.
Thank you. What? He survived too?
Marlene.
Coming. Daddy?
Marlene! I'll come back.
So, what now?
Sephiroth. As long as he's still out there.
I thought you beat him.
We can. We will. Count me in.
If it's to be a hunt, you could use a nose like mine.
I'm in too. Bastard wants to destroy the whole planet, doesn't he? An enemy of hers is an enemy of Avalanche.
Almost there, Cloud. We're almost there.
Yeah, so they've rewritten the storyline a good bit here.
I miss it. The steel sky.
I would be lost, drifting alone, floating
Whew, man.
time after time, and there you'd be.
Man, what a game.
Shining
So before we discuss it, first thing I want to touch on is the whole Zack and Cloud thing. So Zack is the actual soldier, the guy that you saw carrying Cloud there. Zack was a soldier, he was Sephiroth's partner. A bunch of shit goes down and they have a battle. Basically, Sephiroth goes crazy, Zack tries to stop him. Zack gets messed up and he tries to get Cloud to finish the job. Cloud basically like pushes Sephiroth into the life stream and they assume he's dead. So they make their way back to Midgard, and you know there's a bunch of different variations of this depending on like Advent Children or Crisis Core, a bunch of things, but the basic gist is it's assumed that Zack dies. In some of the versions he does die. In this one, I don't know in this story if he dies anymore, because we saw him getting Cloud back to Midgard. But essentially Cloud thinks he's Zack. He doesn't remember. Cloud was basically your basic bitch Shinra soldier, but he was, you know, with Zack and Sephiroth. So I don't know. I don't know where they're going with the story now, because all this stuff about Destiny was not in the original, and the whole Zack carrying him back to Midgard. I want to say that Zack was already that the battle where you saw Zack fighting everybody, that he died back in the original, and that's kind of what makes Cloud's mind just break. And also how he inherits the Buster Sword. So I don't know. But anyway, let's talk about the game. So, whew, like, god damn, that was a wild ride. I wasn't sure what to expect going into this. It was not that. This was, I mean, this was nuts. I don't think I have enjoyed a JRPG this much in quite a while. The combat was a lot of fun, which was surprising because it was kind of like, I mean, it was real-time combat, but the like time slowdown to use abilities gave it almost like a slight turn-based feel to it. That was a lot of fun. Like, especially early on, it was a little bit slow at first, but once you had like a party of 3 and things really got going, that created a really entertaining gameplay loop, like trying to go between and manage all of your characters. So gameplay, this was a 10 out of 10 for me. That was awesome gameplay. As for the story, I have no idea what the hell is going on, but I like where they're going with it. They've stayed pretty true to the original. There's a couple things here and there that are different. Like in the original, well, actually, I didn't notice Jesse in the cutscene. Did I overlook Jesse in the cutscene? I don't know. I'm supposed to be like streaming right now, so I had to hop into the stream and be like, hold up, I need an hour. I'm about to finish this game. But yeah, in the original, Biggs, Wedge, Jesse, all of them die. I mean, pretty much most of Midgar dies. So clearly they're changing things up. I think Aerith will still die. Like, Cloud foresaw that. But then again, there's all this talk now about, you know, Destiny and them changing Destiny, that maybe she doesn't. So I don't know. I mean, music and audio, obviously fucking awesome. You know, the sound effects and the combat, all of that was on point. You know, there good clang to the blades when shit hit and whatnot. It didn't feel floaty or anything, so that was good. In terms of controls, everything felt tight. I mean, honestly, I just really like this. You know, I don't think I really have any complaints about this. This was a wholeheartedly enjoyable experience. If I had to nitpick one thing, I will say I don't think they should have just called it FF7 Remake, because obviously this is just Midgar. And I mean, I'm amazed they made Midgar last this long, but it doesn't feel forced. Like, there were times where things were a little bit slow. Some of the time spent with Aerith early on in the chapters felt like it was kind of slow and going along, but I mean, I enjoyed the entirety of the journey, and you know, we did everything. We did all the side quests we could. We explored for all the collectibles we could get. Like, there wasn't ever a time where I was like, oh my god, this is so, you know, boring and fetch questy. Like, I felt, you know, engaged and entertained for the whole game, despite some parts that felt a little slower because they were so cutscene heavy. So, I mean, a lot of people I've noticed are complaining. They're like, oh, it's just like 30 hours of cutscenes that's been slapped over 5 hours of gameplay. Nah, that's fucking bullshit. Not only is your opinion incorrect, it's factually wrong. This was, we'll see the time when the credits are done rolling, but I want to say I'm close to 40 hours. And 3/4 of that was not fucking cutscenes. Was there a lot of cutscenes? Yeah. Were they fucking awesome? Yeah. Either way, I enjoyed this. I would give this shit a 10 out of 10. I'm all about it. This was, when I think about remakes, this is the new standard for remakes. This was like, I don't know. Maybe this is just nostalgia talking. Maybe I'm biased because this was one of the first JRPGs that I ever played, and it was, you know, the RPG that got me into RPGs. But, you know, growing up playing this and, you know, having the characters' voices in my head because nothing was voice acted, and, you know, imagining these battles because everything is little polygon figures, and seeing it come to life like this, it's, I mean, you really can't even put it into words. It was just like, it was just an amazing experience. And especially knowing there's a hard mode waiting for me after this where I can refight bosses and there's additional enemies that are added in and all kinds of shit. Like, fuck yes, dude. Sign me up. Oh, man. Like, the only real downside is that God only knows when the next part of the series of the game is going to come. I mean, fuck. I my guess would be at least 2 years, probably 2.5, but I feel like the next one's going to be even larger. Because if you think about it, this one was all based on Midgar, and you know, it was pretty focused. But moving on from here, they go all over the world. I'd imagine the next game would probably go up to the Temple of Ancients, but who knows? I will say I'll go back to that point. That's probably the one thing I think they could have done better. Is, and it's not even a gameplay thing, but given that there's going to be multiple iterations of this, what do they call the next part? Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2? Like, they should have called it Final Fantasy VII Midgar, and then the next one should have been like Final Fantasy VII Temple of the Ancients, and the final one should have been like Final Fantasy VII The Battle to Save the Planet or something. I don't know. I think just calling it remake is, to be fair, I mean, and it's a weird situation because, you know, I followed it since it was announced because I was excited for it. I was very aware that it wasn't going to be the full game at launch, but I have friends that are huge Final Fantasy friends and they didn't know. I know people that went into this completely blind because they wanted to avoid everything pertaining to the game, and when they finally got it, they were like, hang on, this is only Midgar? So I do think they could have done that better. They could have given it a different title. I still think Final Fantasy VII Midgar would have been a better title, basically. Because it would have, you know, it would have broken down that that's the content this game contains while still expressing that it's a new game. I had to get a drink of water there. All that nonstop talking ended up. Anyway, so yeah, this was fucking great. Like cutscene right there with like young Tifa. That's actually when all the shit went down and Sephiroth went crazy, started killing people, and Zack and Cloud and all that. So I'm really curious to see where the story goes from here, though, because a lot of it has stayed true, but there are a couple pretty big things that are kind of left open or unknown. Like, is Jessie actually dead, or is she gonna make a comeback? Is Zack still alive? Because it seems like Zack might still be alive based on that cutscene we got. I want to say we beat Hojo back. Hang on. When did we fight Hojo? Control area of. Okay, never mind. So we fight Hojo much later in the game. I mean, it's been that long. I'll say part of me has thought about I was thinking about picking up Final Fantasy VII on Switch because I know all of the Final Fantasies are on Switch. I currently have like a massive backlog of RPGs on the Switch I'm trying to work through that I never seemingly have time for right now. You see, I have just on the Switch, I'm like at the end of Firehouse 3 Emblems, but haven't actually finished it. I have Divinity Original Sin 2 ongoing, haven't finished that. I have Astral Chain, haven't finished that. I have Last Remnant, which I got that when they re-released it on the Switch, and then Final Fantasy X, and 10 came along with 10-2. Haven't made my way through either of those. And then I also had Xenoblade Saga. So I am just, just I am absolutely just packed in terms of content to do. So I feel like it would be kind of silly to re-pick up Final Fantasy VII. And at the same time, part of me feels like if I were to pick up Final Fantasy VII on the Switch, I don't, would that ruin my experience of the upcoming remakes, or would it make them more enjoyable? I don't know. I don't know. I might though, because considering we got probably 3 years, at least 2 years, maybe 3 years until the next part of this. Might be fun to re-go through the story. Probably wouldn't do it on the channel. The reason I said Switch is because I'd mainly play it sitting in bed, and OG Final Fantasy it takes hours to get through. But I don't know if I could go back to old-fashioned turn-based combat. I don't know. That's one of the advantages I like about Final Fantasy X is it lets you like swap in people, which is pretty nice. So it's like if you're up against something that's magic weak and you don't have your magic used in the party, there's an in-game command where you can basically tag out and pull that person in to do what they do. So a nice little kind of twist on the standard system. Damn, these are long ass credits. I mean, rush them, but I could skip them. I'll give it a little bit more. No, I mean, I don't know. No, let's skip. I don't know. Part of me is like, is there a post-credit scene? I feel like if I hit skip, I shouldn't miss a post-credit scene, right? Chapter selection is now be unlocked. Open the main menu and access System Chapter Select to replay any chapter from the beginning using your current characters, weapons, and materia. This is a great way to tackle uncompleted quests, find story elements you missed the first time, and more thoroughly explore it. Hard difficulty is now unlocked and can be selected from chapter selection. Items cannot be used, and only HP is restored at rest spots. However, certain manuscripts are only available in this difficulty setting. Damn, you must have to really carefully manage your MP. Items can't be used like in combat or at all. That's a little odd. Record of your adventure can be viewed from system play log in the main menu. Information from story records to battle records to story branches. You will now earn twice as much experience and 3 times as much AP. Combat Simulator has become available from Hojo's Lab. Select Chapter 17. Skipping the bike minigame. The bike minigame can now be skipped from the pause menu. Damn, and we are at almost 41 hours of gameplay. Here's system play log. Battle intel reports completed 20. 1 Coliseum challenge I haven't done. There's a nice chunk. It's 8 more Shinra combat things. 2 odd jobs that I got to complete. 4 enemies that I haven't encountered. A lot that I haven't assessed. Damn, a shit ton more of manuscripts. Wow, there's only 1 more enemy skill to learn. I was so concerned about keeping on enemy skill. Cloud, Tifa, and Aerith dresses. So there's other dresses I can get for them. Chapter 14, resolutions witnessed. 1 of 3. 14 resolutions. Oh, I wonder if there's a different cutscene depending on if he picks Aerith or Tifa. That might be the case. So that's still a fair amount of stuff. I mean, early on, people were like, oh, the game's only 30 hours. Like, maybe if you fucking sped through this shit on easy. We went through on normal. We made an effort to do every side quest we could. The only ones we missed were the ones we couldn't do because they're chapter locked, and you can only get there's 2 that conflict with each other. And we ended with almost 41 hours of gameplay, and there's still a bunch of shit we could get replaying through on hard. You cannot leave the main menu. You can now replay any chapter. Be advised, if you return to title screen without first saving, you'll oh shit. Okay. That now. But either way, seems like this is where the journey comes to an end. So I may do some streams of hard mode. I'm not going to be doing like a whole series of it, obviously. As for what game we're doing after this, to be honest with y'all, I'm not really sure. There's a couple different things I could potentially do, and I'll think about it. I'll think about it, and we'll. Well, by the time this episode actually goes live, I'll probably have something else by that point. So, either way, I appreciate you all coming along with me on this amazing journey, revisiting a game that was a very big part of my childhood. And I can't wait until the next part of this saga continues. So, thanks for watching, and I'll catch y'all soon enough with a whole new series.